So over the last month or so in Master Duel, there've been a couple of cards removed from the Forbidden and Limited list that, while normally not seen in Dragon Link these days, definitely can be played in Dragon Link, and have been things that I've been just, wanting to test and try out, just because I wanted to, like, spice up the deck and, have some fun playing Master Duel. I know, that's shocking concept, I know. So, like, one of those cards is the Water Enchantress of the Temple. This card went to 3 last ban list, and now we have a full power adventure engine in Master Duel for the first time. And one of the better decks that at using the adventure engine, one of the better decks at using the adventure engine traditionally has been Dragon Link. And one of the reasons why is a card called Red Rose Dragon. So I'm gonna show you a couple combos involving these cards. So first of all, this is Dragon Link, so obviously you're probably not going to be doing standard, like, set combos most of the time. Like, your combos are still going to depend on, what other extenders you have in your hand, such as, even this hand, for example, it's going to be probably deviate a bit from what you would always do when you open, Rite or Water Enchantress plus Rose Dragon. But again, this is just a sort of a guideline, and, like, shows what potentially you can end with these cards. So first, obviously use Water Enchantress. We're gonna add a Rite of Aramesir. Then you activate Rite and get the Faithful Adventure. And here, normal Red Rose Dragon, and then Faithful Adventure. We'll add Draco back. Don't equip it. And Faithful Adventure, we'll add the Griffin Rider and dump the Draco back, and chain Draco back, and then summon the Wandering Griffin Rider. And here's where the fun begins, because now everyone, if you've played 2 years ago when these cards were running rampant, you know what Red Rose Dragon plus Wandering Griffin Rider lead to. That's right, we got a Baron de Fleur very early on. So we already have an Omni Negate up. And now we can trigger the Red Rose Dragon because it was used as a synchro summon. We'll summon the Rocks Rose from deck. Then Rocks Rose, we'll add a Rose Dragon card from our deck to hand, and we'll add the Basil Rose Shoot, which is basically a Monster Reborn for the Rose Dragons. And now we have a Dragon Monster on the field, so you can link off the Rocks Rose into Striker Dragon. And then Striker Dragon will add Boot Sector Launch. Then we can use the Basil Rose Shoot to summon back one of the Rose Dragons and go into Romulus. And then Romulus will add Dragon Ravine. Then, we can use Dragon Ravine. I will dump the Driver, which, funnily enough, makes our Black Meteor Dragon, can't use its special summon from its own effect, but maybe we'll get used out of it later. And I'll send Absol add Tracer. So, Rite plus Red Rose Dragon gets you to this setup, which is a Baron on the field plus a Romulus with a Adventure token up, and we got the Dragon Arena and we search Rocket Tracer. And from here on out, like, what you do with this hand will depend on, what other extenders you plan to draw. At worst, at minimum, you can just use Boot Sector Launch, summon Tracer, get Recharger, and then go Delindris line, and then you end on Borland, Savage plus Baron with an extra body on the field, which is honestly, it's not bad for just a 2-card combo. But here, since we do have a Sarnier as well, let's see what we can do with this hand. So I'll use Boot to summon the Rocket Tracer because we're always doing this. And wondering if I should go for a Seal Slide, or if there's maybe the and Montrons are a bit cloth to go for it. Okay, so yeah, I'll just use Tracer right now. I'll forgo going for the Seals line just because I think space might be an issue. So we'll get a Recharger from deck. So now I will go into Pisty using the Rocket Tracer. And I guess we don't use Aramesir because there's way too much stuff on the board right now. So we had to do it going for Delinders anyway. So whoopsie, that wasn't very exciting, but yeah. So Pisty, summon back whatever, and then go Dill here because we actually need some space. So I'm gonna Striker Dragon, pop the Lindris at the Recharger, then Recharger, summon back the Tracer, and summon back the Dill, and go into Borland. So I guess I end up showing the line anyways, but yeah, if you only had the Red Rose plus the Rite of Aramesir, you would do this line, and then you can end on Borland Dragon, Savage, and then you can obviously use Borland to negate the Tracer, summon back out the Recharger, and then you could synchro the Venture Token and Rocket Tracer into the Borland to get the token off your field, and then you would have an extra random Recharger on the field as an extra body, and that'd be it. So here I have the Sarnir though, so what we can do is Sarnir, I will banish the... Yeah, because we're going to summon the Recharger back, so banish the Recharger. This is like a very ugly way to do this, but I think this still gets us there, so synchro these two into Dissipator, and then Sarnir will send the Lubellion. And I use Dissipator to summon back the Recharger. And here I'll summon back the Lubellion by sacking the Dissipator, since we're gonna place Regained, so this way even though we sacked out the Dissipator, we can just freely do this because we know we're gonna get it back with the Regained. And Borland, negate the Recharger, summon back the Tracer. And here we'll go Savage with these two. And then Savage, I'll equip the Romulus. And we'll go into IP with the token plus the Lubellion. This is why you leave the token on field, because if you have an extra extender, you can just use it for IP. So we did in fact have an extra extender, which was Sarnir. So yeah, with an extra extender with a Red Rose plus the Rite of Aramesir, you could end on Borland, Savage, Baron de Fleur plus IP Masquerader. Because our extender happened to be the one-of Bestial Sarnir, which is incredibly broken, we got to get Regain to place the Dissipator Engrave as well. So now we have an extra interruption with Regain sending back a Dissipator to shuffle back one of our managed cards as another form of interruption as well. So yeah, so a pretty neat line. Maybe there's a way to do this without using both Striker Dragons, but let me know if you do know a way. But yeah, this is a pretty decent combo. This is like an example of what the Rite of Aramesir plus the Red Rose Dragon package enables. And I know a 2-card combo plus an extender might sound like a lot to ask for, and obviously you won't be able to do this every time, but The extender is the easiest part of the hand to get, because it could quite honestly literally be anything. Like we run a ton of Bestials. You saw you had the Black Meteor Dragon. This, if we didn't open drivers, could also been used as an extender. There's like literally also extra normal summons. You know, stuff like Seyfert or hard drawing as Tracer, or hard drawing a Black Metal Dragon that we didn't normal summon. Also works, because guess what? You just dump them off of Ravine and then you just revive them back with Pisty. So there's quite literally almost any other dragon you could draw can be an extender to actually help you get through this board. So, yeah. Okay, so here's where the combos start to get really unhinged, and there's definitely a possibility that I'm just cooking way too hard with this one, but when you open Water Enchantress or Rite of Aramesir plus another starter that's not Red Rose Dragon, so this one, for example, is 1-for-1, which will get us Black Metal Dragon. The stuff you can do is just silly. And it doesn't have to be Black Metal Dragon. Black Metal Dragon is the best one to pair with Rite, but you could just use any amount of extenders to match the amount of bodies that a Black Metal gets you. For example, Chaos Space for the baby dragons works. You could have a hand that has multiple Bestials like this one, which will also get it done. But yeah, if you open Black Metal Dragon, this is like a true 2-card combo in the deck, and I'm going to show you with just what you do with just these 2 cards, and like I'm not going to even use these other cards in my hand. I'm going to pretend these other 3 cards in my hand don't even exist. So, and here's the broken part. So when you open 1-for-1 plus Water Enchantress, so you can just pitch the Water Enchantress for 1-for-1 to summon the Black Metal Dragon, and then you can just banish the Water Enchantress from the grave to search Rite of Aramesir. So already off to a broken start, you know. And then you activate the Rite that you got for free, and then place the Faithful Adventure, then link off the Black Metal Dragon into Striker, and here you use 3 chain links on this one. Just imagine, so it's Black Metal, Faithful, and Striker. Yes, we are unironically using Striker Dragon to chain block the Faithful Avenger, because we really want this Draco back. And give me that Red Eyes Darkness Metal. And now Faithful. The Griffin Rider. Yeah, look at how many cards we have in hand already. We used 1-for-1, by the way. Hitch Draco back. Draco back equipped to the Adventure token. And use Wandering Griffin Rider's effect, special itself. And here, again, pretending that I don't have any other cards in hand, so we're not using Blue Bellion or Brewsworm or anything. We're gonna special the Red Eyes Darkness Metal, banishing the Striker Dragon. And then Red Eyes Darkness Metal, revive the Black Metal Dragon. And here's where things start going off the rails, okay? We're doing unorthodox shit from here on out, okay? And we're gonna make Romulus with Black Metal Dragon and Wandering Griffin Rider. Yes, because I don't respect Nib. That card's usage has been going down in the format. And you can make Romulus using Winged Beast and Dragons, not just Dragons. So that's why we can do this. And obviously, if you had other extenders in your hand, you don't have to link off the Griffin Rider this early. Like, you could possibly hold the negate for later. But with just the 2-card combo, you link off the Griffin Rider, then you use Romulus, and then use Black Metal. Get us our, where is it? The Meteor Black Dragon. And then Romulus will add us our Ravine. Okay. And here you can probably see where this is going if you took a peek at the extra deck before. But we're gonna link into Summon Sorceress. Haven't said that in about like 5 or 6 damn years. And Summon Sorceress is back in Master Duel. And it's nerfed, it's errated, but it's still usable in my opinion. So if this card is Link Summon, you special summon a monster from your hand in the defense to this zone right here to your opponent's field, and then you special summon a card with the same type from your deck. So we get the E-Tally from deck, and then essentially it locks us into dragons afterwards, which, oh no man, what am I ever gonna do being locked into dragons in my Dragon Link deck? But yeah, you activate Summon Sorceress, give them the Black Meteor Dragon that you just literally added to hand, and then special summon the Red Rose Dragon from your deck. And with Draco back, give me Yoink, give me back my Black Meteor Dragon. So yeah, this extender. Oftentimes, Summon Sorcerers might be expensive because you have to basically give an extender to your opponent to use this effect. But you know, with Draco back and the Adventure Engine, we just get the Summon Sorcerers effect for free. Essentially, we get to add the extender. We give our opponent right back to our hand, and we can just use it as an extender again. So yeah, let's continue. So we're gonna synchro the Red Rose Dragon, and the Adventure Token now that it served its purpose. We're gonna go into Ancient Pixie Dragon, and we're gonna do that because we're gonna trigger Red Rose Dragon to summon Roxrose from deck, and then Roxrose is going to add our Basil Rose Shoot. Okay, so if you're wondering what the hell Ancient Pixie Dragon is, you probably got this from your reward tickets from a Duelist Cup. But essentially, if you use a field spell this turn, you get to draw a card. You need a level 7 Dragon Synchro basically just to synchro off your level 3 Red Rose Dragon with a level 4 monster, which is most of the time going to be like an Adventure Token. And this happens to be a Dark as well, so in a pinch you can also use this to summon Lubellion as well. And once per turn you can also, you know, remove it, destroys a face-up position monster on the field, so like it's removal as well. But here, you know, we're going to activate Dragon Ravine now, that way we have Ancient Pixie on the field, and we get to draw a card for free. Sick. Okay, so this is actually, that was actually a very good draw. That was a very good discard, but I'm going to pretend that we didn't draw that. But yeah, now we're going to link into this next ordering doesn't really matter, so you can synchro summon Ancient Pixie Dragon and Red Roxrose Dragon into the Bestial Dissipator, and we're locked out of Baron because we're locked into Dragon, so we can't make that, but we can make the next best thing, which is Dissipator, and Dissipator can summon back, you know, the Striker Dragon that we banished earlier on the Red Eyes Darkness Metal. This is often the best thing you can bring back with Dissipator. So summon the Striker Dragon back to this Summon Sorceress zone, and now use a Basil Rose Shoot, summon back one of the Red Rose Dragons, doesn't really matter which ones, and you're going to go into Pisty, and now you have your Pisty zones. And we haven't used Ravine yet, so I'm going to use Dragon Ravine, pitch a random card. So I'll pitch the Absol Router, but I won't use his effect, just to prove a point. So we're going to send Absol Router, and here we're going to send Rocket Tracer to the grave. This is important. You don't actually send Absol Router in this line. You send Tracer directly to the grave, because you need the Tracer in grave for this line. Okay, and I'm not even going to use that, because yeah, because the reason we do that is because we want to use Striker Dragon to pop the Summon Sorceress, because this Summon Sorceress, it served its purpose, now it's clocking our zones, and it's preventing us from making Erratic Seals. So get this off the field and add the Tracer back to hand. The reason we need to dump the Tracer is because we need a Rocket Monster in grave for Striker Dragon to use this effect to pop. And now, Pisty, bring back Romulus, okay? This is very important, bring back the Dragoon Unite Romulus, okay? And now, to continue with the unhinged shit, we're not going to summon Tracer yet. We're going to Black Meteor Dragon, special summon Black Meteor Dragon. Finally, make use out of this card. And we're going to make the Lindris Dragon using 2 of these dragons up top. Now, you might be wondering, why the hell are you making the Lindris Dragon? Haven't you already used Striker Dragon's effect? Yes, but it's simple, Jerry. It's simple, okay? You're going to link the Lindris and the Striker Dragon into seals to put the Lindris Dragon into the grave. And because we literally haven't used Tracer Boost Sector Launch yet, now we get to use Boost Sector Launch. And Boost Sector Launch, special summon the Rocket Tracer. And because a Rocket Monster was summoned, when was the last time you saw the Lindris Dragon triggered off of a Boot Sector? That is the dream. And this is what we achieved. We get to summon the Rocket Tracer, and then that's going to trigger the Lindris for free, without expending another Striker Dragon. without even using the Striker Dragon's effect, because we already used it and we don't need it. So now the Ninja Dragon comes back, and here I will Rocket Tracer, pop this Faithful Adventure, get the Recharger from deck, and now we have enough material to go the Lindris, Rocket Tracer, Romulus into Borderland Dragon. And Borderland will negate the Rocket Recharger, summon back the Tracer, and now we make Savage. So, Savage, equip the Romulus. Or no, equip the, my bad, I forgot. Equip the Summon Sorceress. Just show the dominance on the field. So yeah. This is a 2-card combo. Also important, the Lindris banishes itself. So if we did not start with Water Enchantress, if we started with a Rite of Aramesir, we would not have a banished card right now. However, because of the Lindris banishing itself, that gives our Dissipator guaranteed a disruption on our opponent's turn. And that was just with 2 cards. With a Black Metal and Rite or Water Enchantress, we got to Hieratic Seal, Borderlord Savage Dragon, Borderland Dragon, and Dissipator. And I didn't even use these other 3 cards in hand. We literally have a Druid's Worm and a Plubellion that I didn't even bother to use because we didn't need this shit, okay? We didn't need this to build this board, which literally has every single piece of every single dragon monster, every single dragon end piece on the board, on the end board. Yeah, words, okay? So yeah, also we didn't normal summon because we used 1 for it, because that's a balance card. But yeah, is this too unhinged? Quite possibility this could be too unhinged. Oh yeah, we also, don't forget, we drew a card off of the of the Ancient Pixie Dragon. But I mean, yeah, this is you know, I wanted to use Rite, I want to use the Adventure Package, and I wanted to use Summon Sorceress, see what I could cook up with this, and this is what I came up with. So let me know how you feel about this, and I guess I'll show you a sample build later, because honestly, the hardest part about this is trying to come up with a list that feels right. Right. No pun intended. So this is the pile that I've been working on, and frankly, it's the only reason it's 60 cards is because I can't play 69 cards, because there's plenty of more stuff that I would like to add into this that I'll go over that I just can't seem to fit in. But yeah, let me know if you're interested in watching me play this in ranked, because I want to get more testing with this deck too. And obviously this is way different from standard Dragon Link. If you want a more, you know, detailed discussion on standard Dragon Link, go check out the other video I made with a much more standard build that doesn't include all the extra adventure or the Red Rose Dragon stuff. And yeah, I'm gonna mainly cover the additions to this deck. I'm not gonna spend too much time on like the standard Dragon Link package, because yeah, go check out the other video if you want, again, more detailed discussion on the standard Dragon Link cards. But yeah, basically the main additions to this deck from standard Dragon Link is the Adventure Package, which with 3 Water Enchanters and 3 Rite and 1 Foolish Burial to dump the Water Enchanters, you have 7 ways to get to the Adventure Package. And then, you know, obviously you saw with the Griffin Rider and the Adventure Token, they're good levels, and they match up very well with a Red Rose Dragon package, which you need to have cards to synchro with the Red Rose Dragon package. And the Adventure being a level 7 with the Griffin Rider and a level 4 of the token are, you know, perfect for Synchro Father for your Red Rose Dragons. But even like if you don't open with the Red Rose Dragons, or you don't want to go into like the batshit crazy Summon Sorceress line, at the end of the day, you can also just leave the Griffin Rider and the Adventure Token on field, and then just do your normal Dragon Link combos, and then, you know, end on like a Borderland Savage or Seals Savage, or like any combination of those cards, maybe an IP, and then just have a Adventure negate on top of it as well, which is also you know, pretty nice. That's another nice option there. And Griffin Rider, as shown in the combos, importantly, this is not a brick. This is a winged beast monster, and Romulus can use Winged Beast. So at the very worst, if you raw Griffin Rider and literally no other access to Avenger Engine, this is half of a Romulus. And half of a Romulus is essentially just a free extender, because you're gonna go into Romulus basically every game. So yeah, this is not a bad draw at all. And for the Red Rose package, so obviously the Red Rose package, you need stuff to pair with. The Red Rose Dragon by itself is not a good starter. So yeah, obviously you mentioned the adventure stuff to pair with the Red Rose Dragon. There are other things you can pair with the Red Rose Dragon to combo with it and get and synchro it off, because you need to synchro the Red Rose off to be able to summon the Rock Rose from deck, and the Rock Rose will search the Basil Rose shoot. So like, you really want to synchro the Red Rose Dragon off to get you essentially 2 free bodies when you do so. And you can pair this with, besides just the Adventure Engine, you can pair this with Quick Launch too. Quick Launch, summoning Rocket Recharger plus Red Rose Dragon is fine. That gets you the Ancient Pixie Dragon, and then that triggers Rock's Rose to summon from deck, and then you can do Rock Rose into Striker and then into Romulus, and then you add the field spell, and then you can even draw a card off the Ancient Pixie Dragon. That's pretty good, honestly. And other stuff you can pair with the Red Rose Dragon are, 1-for-1 is like the dream, because you eventually add Black Meteor Dragon, and Black Meteor Dragon, when Black Meteor Dragon special summons itself, it summons at a level 7. So that's perfect to pair with the Red Rose to go into like an early Baron with the Black Meteor Dragon, and then do your combo afterwards. But also, hard drawing Black Meteor Dragon with the Red Rose package is very, very good, because that's basically just like opening Adventure plus Red Rose, just minus the level 4 token, which it's fine. You still get Baron, you still get to do your entire combo under Baron. And yeah, obviously, also Red Rose Dragon pairs well with Chaos Space, because then Red Rose Dragon plus Wyvern Burster, not only you get the additional body, you get the other baby, you also get you get a Rox Rose from deck. You can even chain block the Rox Rose, so that gets you infinite bodies to combo from there. And yeah, the point is to just you need to pair Red Rose with something. So between the adventures, between the Quick Launch plus 1-for-1, and then Chaos Space, you have like over like 3, 6, 9, 12, 13, 14. You have like 14 plus cards that you can pair with the Red Rose Dragon to get its effect off. So yeah, that's really nice. And then obviously, the standard Dragonlink stuff like Black Metal, the Wyvern Bursters, the Rocket Tracers, the Recharger, Caliber, Meteor Dragon, Bestial package, all of this is standard. We're only running 4 Bestials. 1, because space is really hard to find, and 2 is that Bestials aren't exactly great, especially in a Tenpai format. Especially Baldrake is okay, so I added Baldrake in. I normally initially didn't include it, but just having an extra form of like a disruption against when Tenpai makes you go first, because the Bestials really aren't hand traps at all versus Tenpai. So you want the Bestial that you add off the Magnuma to at least do something, provide some form of interaction versus Tenpai, and Baldrake is the one that does the most. So at least you can like stall and like banish a Biden Dragon that will really make it annoying to OTK you through a Baldrake plus the rest of your board as well. Druid's Worm is okay, but Druid's Worm only works when you pair it with like a Rocket Tracer or a IP, which you don't get to IP on every one of your end boards. So just having a Baldrake as a guaranteed search that you can use as a disruption is there. And Alps Router, the Bestial Bellion, the Red Eyes Dark Smell, standard stuff. Chaos Space, Adventure Package, 2 field spells, Adventure Package, Regain, Quick Launch is at 2, which it's coming to 3 soon TM. And then the Basil Rose Shoot, and then the anti-Maxi stuff. And then here's where it's like, as you can tell, I'm not happy with this build, because the amount of hand traps in here is really not that high. And you have like 3 Maxi, 3 Ash, basically 3 more of a hand trap of your choice, which is Ogre, which I use 2 Ogre plus 1 Infirm, for I guess Infirm Project, and then the Gammas. And that's it. That's really not a lot. In matchups where Bestials aren't real hand traps, which is you know, quite a lot of matchups are going. And there's quite a lot of matchups where Bistios aren't real hand traps, so then you're actually really low on defensive cards. And I know Rite does do something going second, like it clears boards if it resolves, keyword if, but you know, it helps you push. But obviously the number of defensive cards in this deck is a lot lower than I would like to, so I am trying to maybe see if I could cut some parts of engine to include more defensive cards, more hand traps. But like, as you can see, like it's so tight, and like every one of these engine cards are like so important. Like we cut Safer down to 1 because actually Safer is not good when you're running a bunch of adventure cards, because, you know, fun fact, you're not allowed to use the effects of normal summon monsters. So hard drawing this is not that great, but you still play this in deck as a one-off because you can summon this off summon sorcerers, you know, for 1, but and then it won't be normal summon, so then you can use the effect. But also you can just pitch this off of Ravine, and then you can use the add back stuff like Lubellion or even Levianeer sometimes. And yeah, so the extra deck, again, the extra deck is also really tight, especially since we're trying to jam in the adventure stuff. That means we have to run Baron and Dispater and Savage, which is like pretty standard. Pisty plus 2 Striker Dragon, Hieratic Seal, Romulus, IP, SP, Triple Burst, and Borderland Dragon. These cards are non-negotiable. Okay, every Dragonlink card has to run those extra deck. Every Dragonlink deck has to run those extra deck cards that I mentioned. Okay, the only effect spots here we have are the Baron, the Delindrus, the Summon Sorcerers, and Ancient Pixie Dragon. Obviously, because we're running the Adventure build, we have to run like a level 7 Synchro to sync with the Red Rose Dragon. So this just happens to be the one that I found out. There's other options. You know, you can run Black Rose for help for being better going second. You could run Moonlight Rose so that you have 2 ways to bounce back the card that you give them off Summon Sorcerers, not just Draco back. You can also Moonlight Rose it back. Sometimes that might be relevant in certain lands where you go Summon Sorcerers but don't have access to Adventure cards, although you don't. Those are like pretty rare instances. But yeah, we need to run a level 7 Synchro just for Red Rose, so this has to be here. And then, you know, we have to run Baron because that's the entire point of roping Rite plus Red Rose, so that you can make an early Baron. And then Summon Sorceress, you could argue this is not mandatory, which definitely, but if you're already playing like an balls to the wall build, I mean, you saw what this card is capable of, and it's not just for extending your wombo combos and stuff like that. Like legitimately, this helps you play through certain disruptions. For example, if your opponent cuts you off of Tracer access, right, and they like in-perm your Romulus, and now you suddenly don't have a Ravine to get access to Tracer, you can, you know, use that Meteor Black Dragon that you have in your hand from the Black Metal Dragon. You can use it just go into Summer Sorcerers, you know, give your opponent a random Dragon Monster, and then summon the Tracer from deck, and then you still have Tracer access. Then Tracer, you know, plus Recharge it actually gives you arrow. Summon Sorcerers gives you arrows to go into both Pisty plus Striker to trigger Pisty's revival effect, and you can still end on like a Borderland plus Savage, even though your opponent cuts you off of a Tracer access. And also, you know, if you have very high engine hands, like you just have a bunch of random Bistios, or like you have a bunch of dupe normal summons that you can't make use of, you know, such as additional Red Roses or additional Black Metal Dragons, you give those to your opponent, and then you summon something useful from deck. Like if you don't have Bistio access, you can summon a Sarnier from deck, and now you have Bistio access. You could also, if you have a Sarnier in your hand, you can just give Sarnier to your opponent, and then, you know, pop it with your Baron, and then bam, there's your Lubellion access right there. You can, yeah, you aforementioned, you can summon Safer from deck. Safer can then get you, yeah, Wyvern Burster plus Collapse, so that gets you 2 bodies, 2 extenders, but you can also use it to, you know, search Lubellion or search Sarnier to get to Lubellion. And like, there's a lot of stuff you can do with this card. You won't make this every game, it won't come up in every combo line, but it does come up. You could argue that it's not, that it's still the 15th most important extra deck card, which I could still see it, but yeah, I mean, I want to play with this card, man. I have a glossy Summon Sorceress, bro. I gotta make use of this somehow, right? And Dill, yeah, I've just realized playing Dragonlink that you're gonna draw hands where your hands are not strong, and then the only way you can end on anything is using Delindrus. So there it is. Also, you saw in that super unhinged combo, you know, you make use of Delindrus in the most hilarious way possible, and yeah, it's just I don't know. Like, I know people don't try not to use this card. I'm trying to look for lines where honestly I'm trying to use the linders because I've noticed it extends my boards a lot further, and I've realized that seals by itself is not that great of an interruption this format, but I mean it's okay. You can make it better, which I will get into the other options you can include in this deck. So number one thing is okay, I'll discuss these in order. So obviously number one thing is Shooting Riser Dragon. Okay, so Shooting Riser Dragon is the other level 7 Dragon Stinker you can make. That's not a Ancient Pixie Dragon. And specifically, Dragon is important because obviously you want the option of turning this into being able to make into Romulus or Steels, or be able to link into all of your X deck options. So yeah, Shooting Riser Dragon has been traditionally used to dump snow so that you get the snow interruption on your opponent's turn, which is completely busted, and also it turns itself into a level 3 dragon in that way, so then you can use this to link into Striker Dragon, which is not as relevant because you have plenty of ways to make Striker Dragon with this deck. But yeah, the main thing with Shooting Riser is you can dump snow, and you know, in a vacuum that's better, but as you see, the problem is I ain't got no space for snow, man. Like I just can't fit this in. Like even the one snow, because I'm already low on defensive cards, going second cards. If I wanted to include cards in the deck right now, and I somehow miraculously had space, I would need to put in like defensive cards or cards that help me, you know, survive versus Tenpai if I don't do the best or fullest combo. And snow is just another brick that if you draw it, it's not good going second at all. Like I included a Baldrake as an additional search target off the Magnum for this reason, because you know, Baldrake is at least it's much better to draw going second, and it's much better to just draw in general than snow is, even though yeah, that's why you could run Shooting Riser and cut another defensive card to put in snow, but I just like this deck needs as much help going second as is, so I didn't include this package. Same reason with like Branded Beast and Grand Tusk Dragon, Nutbuster Dragon. These are also cards you can use to you know, reinforce your board so that you don't lose against Tenpai. Like honestly, your end board, the only thing you're really scared of versus Tenpai is droplets. And by including, you know, either a Nutbuster or Branded Beast, it plays around the droplets, because your board has like 3 to 4 monsters. They're going to have the droplets send 3 or 4, and then they're going to have like maybe 1 to 2 cards left in their hand afterwards. So if you have a Branded Beast, for example, or if you have a Grand Tusk Dragon to pop 2 on your opponent after even after your Steels gets negated, it still summons Nutbuster from your deck. So either a pop 2 with this, or a pop 2 with Branded Beast popping Gooseworm after they already droplets their entire hand away. That's how you that's a decent insurance policy against Tenpai. But obviously, you know, space and again the fact that these are bricks. So yeah, this deck is super tight, and I don't even have room for the Strudel. And the Strudel is really nice because there's just a lot of situations where you can search this lot. You know, if you already have access to Tracer, but you want to dump something off the Ravine, you know, there's your Strudel free extender. If you open Fruitless Burial and you already have access to Adventure Engine, you don't need to dump Water Enchantress, then you can dump the Strudel, you know, free extender. Also, this isn't bad to draw because again, it's just a free extender. Although, annoyingly enough, the funny thing about the Strudel is that this puts you at 4k life points, which normally that doesn't matter. But specifically, now that Tenpai is a deck, so Tenpai can't actually kill you through a Borderland Dragon. If the Borderland, you know, assuming they don't drop or anything, because the most they can do is go Trident Dragon 6k, attack 3 times. Which, guess what? That's attacking 6k over Borderland is 2500, 2500 times 3 is 7500. You actually live that. But if you destroy it earlier, then you actually don't live that. You actually die to, even with a Borderland in the field, you still die to Tenpai. So minor inconvenience. That's not the reason why I didn't play this. It's just because of space. Like honestly, like again, I keep mentioning that. So I'm trying to fine tune this deck further, and let me know if you have any ideas on what I could possibly cut to fit in even more hand traps in this deck. So yeah, this is this is the deck so far right now. Will likely change in the future, and after I do more testing. So yeah, again, let me know if you're interested in seeing gameplay of this deck, because I want to play this deck too. So.